What is up, everyone? It's once again. Today I'm going to be ranking my top 10 favorite video games of all time. Now this is something that I've wanted to do for a very long time, and it seems like you guys are also very interested to see what my list will be. So for that reason, we're going to do this video. Now, if you guys are also interested in learning some other top 10, like my top 10 favorite anime, TV shows, all that type of stuff, then leave a like on this video and also hit that sub button to really let me know that you guys really want to see more of this. Now, without further ado, let's get into the list. Coming in at number 10, we got Minecraft. Now, Minecraft is by far the best sandbox game I've ever played. This game is only limited by your imagination, which allows for so much replayability, and every time I come back to Minecraft, I feel like I'm learning something new due to just how much this game is being updated. The only reason this game is not any higher is simply because I'm running this on the original game, not with mods. With mod, this is like an easy top 5 at the very least, because there's just so much more to do, but that would be unfair to include all that, especially with everything else that's on the list. Coming in at number 9, we got Spec Ops: The Line. Now, most people probably haven't heard of this game, but this story and the characters are some of the best I've seen in any shooter. I won't spoil much for you, but as you guys continue on your mission in Dubai, you start to question whether or not you're actually doing the right thing, and that makes this game just so interesting to me. However, after playing it a few times, you really don't need to revisit the game. The online really isn't that great, and once you get the ending, you pretty much figure out all the other endings in the game, and you can just kind of revisit that very last mission, so you don't really need to go back and replay it, but it's still a very fun game nonetheless. Coming in at number 8, we got Kingdom Hearts 1. Kingdom Hearts 1 is one of the first games I ever played, and it's a game I loved for many years. The story is easily one of the best on this list, and I still think it's a must-play game for anyone that hasn't already. Combining Final Fantasy with Disney was not something that sounds interesting on the surface, but they managed to blend them both really good. The only problem I have is due to it being the first game, the combat and the mechanics are not quite refined yet, so it is annoying to go back and replay, but everything else makes up for it, especially the music. Now, coming in at number 7, it's Persona 4. Now, weirdly enough, I used to think the concept of this game was pretty stupid. My brother told me about it, but the way he described it made it sound really weird and just outright dumb, so I never really played it initially. But then I was bored one day and I played it, and let's just say I didn't touch grass for a few days. This game, like some other games, starts off really slow, but unlike those games, I was actually invested into the plot because it's a murder mystery game, which, if you know me, is just one of my favorite types of genres in general. The music is amazing, combat can get a little repetitive but still overall fun, but where these games shine are the characters. Each character is so unique and has an amazing story arc to their character, and you end up loving just about all of them throughout your entire time playing through the game. Now, the only reason this is so low is just because the ending is kind of poorly executed, not because the story ended badly necessarily, but because of how you need to actually get the best ending. It's almost impossible sometimes unless you have a guide telling you how to actually get everything done, and I'm not even kidding when saying that. Number 6 is The Last of Us. Now, like with Kingdom Hearts, the story is one of the best I've seen in any game I've played thus far. It's a simple premise, but it's still very good, and there's a reason why it's been remastered so many times and why it got a show adaptation. The story and characters are just that good, and to be honest, this game is only so low because the other games above it excel at having some replayability and having affected my life so much that I can't put them any lower. Coming in at number 5, we got Little Nightmares 2. Now, I will admit that this game is a guilty pleasure because it's not as good as pretty much any of the games on this list. But the reason it's on this list is because I can't think of another game like it. The characters don't talk, you don't know anything about the world that these characters live in, nor do you know anything about the monsters. The game is the shortest on the list, and yet I still think it is one of the better games I've ever played. And it's simply because you don't really need all of that explained to you. This game takes the show don't tell really seriously, and it lets you deduce what's happening, which makes it way more fun to go back and revisit it. There's so many theories about what happens in this franchise, and it's a big reason why I continue to come back as much as I do. I want to know so much more about this world, which is why I think this game is so high up for me. Coming in at number 4 is Black Ops 2. Now, for all my friends, they know that Black Ops 2 is one of my most played games of all time. I think there's only one game that I play more, and most people probably already know what that is. But this game is usually seen as the best COD game of all time, and for a very good reason. This game has everything you want in a video game: good story, characters, great multiplayer experience, good zombies mode, and good innovations that were brought back in future titles because of just how influential they were. And without this game, I wouldn't have met so many of the friends I had to this day. So why is it only at number 4? That's simply because this game does have some flaws. The game isn't perfect by any means, and although I enjoy most of it, I would be lying if I said that everything was good, and some of the games up next have a few more things that just make them a little bit better in my eyes. Coming in at number 3, we got Kingdom Hearts 2. Kingdom Hearts 2 takes all the problems with the first game and fixes them while also taking everything it did well and making it even better. The only problem I have is some of the worlds you go to are not the greatest, but a few of them you can skip and the good outweighs the bad. Now the reason it's so high up is because the game along with the next two is where my love for gaming came from. Without games like these, I never would have known much about gaming as I do now. Plus this was a game I bonded with my older brother over when I was a lot younger, so there's a lot of nostalgia. Coming in at number 2, we got Pokemon Platinum. My favorite Pokemon game by far. Gen 4 has pretty much everything I want in a Pokemon game. Good story, villains, characters, innovations, and of course the Pokemon. Gen 4 did what I wish Gen 6 would have done with Megas, which was give new forms to the weaker Pokemon that don't get talked about as much. The Pokemon in this game are some of the best in the franchise, and I will literally die on that hill. The game has my favorite villain in Cyrus and a really good champion in Cynthia. I have so many memories of playing these games as a kid, and even now after playing most of the mainline games, there are no games like this one. I even had a lot of my friends start with this game, and pretty much all of them will agree it's a very good game. Coming in at number 1, we got my favorite video game of all time, Black Ops 1. And this should be no surprise because I literally did a stream of this on my birthday, but simply put, this game has pretty much no flaws in my opinion. This game has so much stuff to talk about that it will literally take forever for me to delve deep into literally everything, but this story is still probably my favorite of any of the stories thus far, and it's a story that's really worth exploring. Multiplayer was really fun, and with all the new innovations that were added to COD, it's one of the most innovative in the series. The zombies mode was a masterpiece in this game where they took the base concept and then added onto it, which ended up being the base formula for zombies more recently. But the reason it's at number 1 is because the game is why I'm literally here, as weird as that may be. This is where I learned about the gaming community through YouTube. My love for YouTube first started, and soon I would even meet a lot of my friends through gaming because this franchise was one of my favorites growing up. If you've been on the channel, I usually bring up COD a lot, and it's because the impact that this game had on me. Without this game, I don't really know where I would be at this point in my life, but I do know that this is without a doubt my favorite game of all time. If you guys really did enjoy this list and kind of getting a little insight into like some of my favorite games of all time, then hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you guys can leave a like on the video. And without further ado, I will see you guys next time. See ya.